There's a really common mistake that I see a lot of creative agencies making when they market themselves and their services. I've taken a short clip from a recent coaching session where I talk about this mistake in more detail, but I just want to give you some high-level context before we dive in. So typically, an agency that's been going for a while and is very good at what they do has built most of their client base from networking, from referrals, from basically just being good at what they do and word of mouth getting round. Now that's great. The problem is that is beyond your control, i.e. you kind of ask for referrals and just hope that a project comes up. So what we want to do is we want to find ways to actively market ourselves so that we can create consistent lead flow and create consistent cash in our business. So what most people do is they build a website, they put some stuff out on social media, they create some content in the hope that that will then attract their ideal clients. But there's one mistake that everybody makes, and that is talking about the potential clients or your ideal clients' problems and pain points from your perspective, not theirs. And that's a problem for a couple of reasons. Number one, it means that you only ever attract people who are solution aware. So let's imagine you run a web design agency. If you talk about the problem of not having a good user interface on your website or having slow loading speeds or any of those things, then you're really only talking to people who are aware of that problem. And if they're aware of that problem, they're probably aware of the solution, but they just haven't taken the action to implement that solution yet. And that's usually around reasons such as cost. Maybe they just don't technically know how to do it, whatever that might be. But it positions you as a worker rather than a partner. So what that means is that if you approach them and they come and decide to work with you, they will be basically giving the orders rather than you. So they won't see you as the expert because you've basically said, hey, does your website load slowly? And they're like, yeah, it does. Would you like it to load faster? Yes, we would. Cool. This is how much it's going to cost. It's very transactional. They're not seeing you there as the expert. However, if we take that exact same example and we look at the problem from their perspective, we might say something like, were you hoping that your new website, or were you hoping that your website would have hundreds of your ideal clients flocking to you every single month? Don't worry, this is quite a common frustration for small business owners. And there's 3 mistakes that they make when building their website, as an example, right? And so then if you educate them on what those mistakes are, kind of just like what I'm doing in this video, a little bit of inception for you there, then what that allows you to do is position yourself differently. So in this coaching session, what I'm talking to my client about is the difference between the way that you see the problem and the way that they see the problem. And if we want to consistently attract our ideal clients, people that treat us like partners rather than just a worker, then we must talk about their problems, their pain points, their frustrations, their desires from their perspective rather than ours. And I use an example again here, like going to the doctor. So I hope you find this valuable. It's a short clip, but it can be a game changer for the way that you attract clients in your creative agency. I think a lot of creatives and just businesses in general make this mistake. So what you're talking about is like the external, and the external is what the client experiences, right? This is what's going on in their world. The internal is what we offer. And that's usually based on the problem that we can see. So what happens is we use our expertise as creatives, branding, animation, is we're looking at the client's problems from our perspective. And so we start saying, well, the problem is that they don't know their audience enough. That's the problem. But if they're not aware of that problem, so remember we talked about the unseen. If they're not aware about that problem, they haven't had that realization. If you build an offer around helping them to do that, it's not going to be massively valuable or appealing to them because they don't think that that's the problem. What the client is experiencing right now is massive churn. Right? Oh, God, we're so frustrated. Someone signs up to our business and within 3 months they leave. And this churn is like costing us. And it's meaning we're burning through ad spend. Investors aren't happy. So if you create an irresistible offer, which is about reducing churn, that's going to be like for them because that's the thing they're currently experiencing. The offer this is the vehicle. This is actually how you do it. This is your process that happens behind the scenes internally. But we want to make sure if you imagine that like you're looking at this from a bird's eye view and this is a stage, we want to make sure that our marketing is like front stage, right? Our marketing is over here. So this is marketing. That is the show that clients see. And it always has to be related to them and what's going on in their world. So we have to meet them where they are. And then behind the scenes is delivery. This is what we do to actually solve that problem. And the right clients, we don't want to talk too much about how we solve a problem because it's a bit like wanting to buy a Porsche and them telling you about how a Porsche engine works. Unless you're a Porsche addict, that's probably not going to sell you the car. What's going to sell you the car is the feel of the drive and how fast it goes, right? So as creatives, we want to make sure that we're super focused on our marketing on the external, i.e. what's going on in the client's world. So that's why I'm saying like what comes up for them as a frustration. That's what I would do. I would go there and I'd be like, hey, what's your business? Sounds exciting. I'm curious, like what's your biggest frustration right now? And the way to frame that, Sergey, so people don't think you're some weirdo and like the people are actually going to tell you, because if you just go up to some stranger and be like, what's your biggest problem right now? Probably not going to tell you. The question I love is, what do you love the most about running a edtech startup or running a insert the business? What do you love most about this? And then I follow up with, and what's the thing that frustrates you the most about it? So yeah, I would just go there, be curious, gather data. And if you hear something that you think you can help with, I would just say, do you mind if we connected on LinkedIn? Because I've got a couple of things that I'd love to send you that I think might be able to help you with some of these frustrations. Would you be open to that? Hey, if you found this clip valuable, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, I've got a little offer for you. We have just built a scorecard that allows you to answer 25 questions. It takes about 5 minutes and it will actually spit out a custom growth strategy for your business based on your specific situation. It's taken me a while to develop this, but it's a really, really powerful tool. And for now, you can use it for free. When you take it, you'll also get a free copy of my book, and it will recommend some chapters to read, which will be directly related to your problem. So rather than just having this sea of information thrown at you and trying to decipher through which things are relevant, this scorecard will actually tell you specifically what strategies you need to use in your business right now based on your specific situation to grow your business, get higher value clients, and have a more meaningful, fulfilling, creative life. Thanks for watching.